Man believes in progress. That is a modern idea, which is to say, a false idea. Friedrich Nietzsche. Propaganda is inside you. Every advertisement, every glowing screen, every political speech and motivational slogan whispers the same story. Humanity is advancing. Life is getting better. The future will redeem the present. But here is the question I want you to wrestle with. If progress is real, why does modern life feel so empty? Why do depression, anxiety, and loneliness grow in the very age of abundance? Why do we feel restless even when surrounded by comfort, distracted even when endlessly entertained? In this video, we will uncover why modern society feels hollow despite all its achievements. We'll examine Nietzsche's brutal critique of progress, Jung's warning about the lost soul of modern man, and the deeper psychological forces behind our restlessness. By the end, you will see why progress is not always what it seems, and where true meaning might be found. Look around you. Technology advances at lightning speed. Towers rise higher every year, scraping the clouds as if to declare mankind's victory over nature. In our pockets, we carry more computing power than the machines that once guided rockets into the heavens. Humanity has split the atom, mapped the genome, cured diseases, and stitched the globe together with invisible signals. If progress is measured by invention, by speed, by control, then surely we are racing forward. And yet, something is missing. Nietzsche warned that progress is not salvation. It is a myth we tell ourselves, a glittering mask hiding a hollowness we refuse to face. We run faster, build higher, consume more, but the question remains, why? Why do we invent endlessly and yet feel more restless than ever? Why do we stretch into the stars while our own souls remain unexplored? Carl Jung saw the same wound. He wrote that modern man is in search of a soul. Despite the miracles of science, despite every achievement of technology, something essential has been lost. Progress fills our homes with objects, but empties our hearts of meaning. The world accelerates, but the spirit lags behind. And in that gap between what we can do and what we truly are, lives the silent crisis of our age. Society tells us that comfort is happiness, a softer couch, a safer job, a smoother life. This is the promise of progress. A future where every obstacle is removed, every hardship solved, every struggle made unnecessary. To live without difficulty is sold to us as the ultimate dream. But Nietzsche saw this as the taming of the human spirit. He called it the triumph of the herd, a culture of safety and obedience. When life becomes too comfortable, we forget what it means to risk, to fight, to endure suffering for the sake of something higher. Comfort without challenge does not set us free. It weakens us. It makes us smaller than we could be. Carl Jung agreed, though in another language. He warned that by avoiding discomfort, we repress the shadow, the raw, untamed forces of our psyche. The shadow holds our fear, our anger, our creativity, even our passion. By hiding from struggle, we do not become whole. We become fragments of ourselves. Picture a bird in a golden cage. It is safe, admired, protected from danger, but its wings grow weak. It has lost the sky. This is the cost of progress when defined only as comfort, security without soul, safety without strength, existence without flight. And deep inside, we know this. Why else do we chase distractions endlessly? Why else do we hunger for more comfort, more novelty, more escape? Our craving is not for things themselves, but for the meaning they cannot give us. Progress gives us protection, but it cannot give us purpose. Progress praises the individual. Be whoever you want to be. It tells us, follow your dreams, achieve success, and fulfillment will follow. At first, it sounds liberating, but if you look closer, you will see the trap. Most people do not live as themselves. They live as reflections of what society rewards, chasing approval rather than authenticity. Carl Jung named as a persona the mask we show the world, the hard-working professional, the flawless parent, the glamorous figure displayed on a glowing screen. The mask keeps us accepted, but it hides a deeper truth of who we are. Behind it waits a shadow, the unacknowledged, repressed parts of our being. And the more tightly we cling to the mask, the more hollow we feel inside. Nietzsche recognized the same hollowness in modern life. He called it nihilism, the collapse of values, when the highest ideals lose their power to inspire. Life becomes a stage play, with costumes and roles. But the script is missing. We know how to accumulate more, but we no longer know what it means to live for something. This is why modern progress feels so deceptive. It gives us endless tools, but no reason to use them. It opens limitless paths, but provides no destination. We become actors, repeating lines we do not believe, applauded for masks that hide our emptiness. And so we arrive at a paradox. We have everything to live with: comfort, safety, technology, abundance. Yet we have almost nothing to truly live for. The modern individual is promised freedom, but often finds only performance. Promised meaning, but discovers only mirrors. This is not progress. It is a deep forgetting of who we really are. Most people run from emptiness. They bury it beneath consumption, endless scrolling, constant entertainment, new possessions, and the promise that the next upgrade will finally make them whole. But no matter how fast we run, the void waits. Nietzsche insisted that we must stop running. To confront nihilism is terrifying, but it is also the first step toward freedom. He called for a revaluation of values, the radical courage to create meaning where none has been given. This is not the shallow optimism of progress, which promises happiness through convenience. It is the raw strength to carve purpose out of the abyss. Meaning is not handed down by society. It must be forged again and again by the individual. Carl Jung echoed this in the language of psychology. He taught that true growth begins only when we turn inward, to descend into the unconscious, to face the shadow, to embrace the parts of ourselves we fear. Integration, not avoidance, is a path to wholeness. What feels like emptiness is not a curse. It is an invitation, a threshold leading us deeper into the self. Imagine the silence after the noise fades. No screens, no chatter, no constant flood of information. In that silence, something begins to stir. A whisper, a faint calling, a voice from within that is easy to ignore in the noise of progress, but impossible to deny once we listen. That voice is where meaning begins. Progress distracts us with outward motion, but true progress, the kind Nietzsche and Jung both pointed toward, begins by looking inward, by entering the silence, by facing the void, by daring to create meaning where none is given. So, what have we uncovered in this video? That the myth of progress promises fulfillment, but often delivers emptiness. That comfort without struggle makes us fragile. That the mask of success conceal an inner despair. And that real progress is not measured in wealth, inventions, or faster machines, but in the depth of our soul. Nietzsche's idea of the will to power reminds us that if old values have collapsed, we must not hide in nihilism. We must create new ones. We must summon the courage to give life meaning, even when none is offered. Progress is not the smooth road society sells us. It is a struggle to shape ourselves into something greater. Jung's path of individuation echoes this truth. If we feel empty, it is not because life has no meaning, but because we have not yet met the hidden parts of our own being. True progress is not climbing higher towers or filling endless shelves. It is a descent into the unconscious, the confrontation with the shadow, and the return with a deeper sense of wholeness. So when the world tells you that progress will save you, remember Nietzsche's warning. The myth of progress is powerful, but it is still a myth. The only progress that matters is the one that awakens your soul, the progress that reconnects you with meaning. Thank you for watching. Now you have learned that the true measure of progress lies not outside, but within. For more explorations into psychology, philosophy, and the hidden depths of the human mind, subscribe to this channel. And join me on the search for meaning in a world that feels increasingly empty.